without sacrificing long-term pieces. This is a team that didn't shorten their runway at all, and they vaulted themselves up to being probably the biggest challenger to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oklahoma City coming off a really dominant season in a lot of ways. You think they're head and shoulder, but I see you buy the Rockets as right there?
I do. I think they're right there with Denver. I think they're the two best teams behind Oklahoma City in the West. I think both of them could really give the Thunder challenges in different ways. And personally, I would love to see Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. That would be a hell of a story next spring.
That sure would. Maybe we'll get it. All right, Tim Bontemps, how about the Bucks? What grade are you giving their offseason?
I'm giving them a B-. It was obviously a very creative and surprising move to get Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. They're in-division rivals. Obviously something no one saw coming this offseason. But it is making something out of a very difficult situation. It is not something, though, that's getting this team much closer to a championship. A lot of work left to be done if the Bucks want to get higher than the current 8th best odds to win the East that they have at the moment.
McMahon, you see anything to like? Are they any closer to title contention in Milwaukee?
I mean, I like the fit of Miles Turner next to Giannis, but this was an impossible situation. When Damian Lillard went down, you've got a $50+ million massive problem there, and their solution was to stretch it out. Now it's a $22.5 million problem for them for the next 5 years. Obviously, they're getting no production. I just can't sit here and squint and see the Milwaukee Bucks being anything close to a real contender next season.
All right, back out west. How about the Lakers? What grade, Tim McMahon, would you give their offseason?
Yeah, B-, C+ type of thing. And look, this all really depends on DeAndre Ayton, a guy who there's a reason he's a former #1 overall pick now on his 3rd franchise as he's just entering his prime. He's got to change his ways. He's got to recognize that this might be his last real chance to, find his place in the NBA and for his career to take off. He's got to do all the dirty work, all the less glamorous things to thrive off of Luka. Roll hard to the bucket. Luka's going to feed you for a whole bunch of dunks. There is upside and very low risk here.
Low risk, and obviously the Lakers still putting it together, still have some pieces to put in place. But the thing we've been talking about all week with them is this LeBron situation, right? I mean, like he opts into his contract, and then his agent puts out a statement saying, well, maybe he wants to see what they're doing to stay a contender. Our Dave McMenamin had something interesting to say about this whole issue. Take a listen.
Dallas, I'm told that they would only be interested in LeBron in a buyout situation. So, and again, we just
because there is a deal to be made there.
Right.
If they wanted to make a deal, there's a deal.
Yeah, there's a deal to be made there, but I don't believe that's happening.
What do you think when you heard that?
I mean, I just continue to think this whole situation is bizarre, and even by NBA standards. I mean, you guys have talked. You're an NFL guy, Graz, right? You guys have talked all week about T.J. Watt. What's going to happen with T.J. Watt? This is sort of the equivalent, the idea of LeBron getting bought out by the Lakers, of the Steelers buying out T.J. Watt and allowing him to go sign with the Ravens. Like, would anybody be sitting here saying it makes any sense for the Steelers to do that? The answer is obviously no. No one would think that, right? LeBron James is still, despite being 40 years old, one of the 10 or 15 best players in the NBA. The idea that after picking up his option for $52.6 million on Sunday, that the Lakers would ever entertain the idea of buying him out and allowing him to go play for another team next season is frankly insane. It's hard to imagine any logical path that could get to that happening. Now, is there some world where LeBron goes to them and says, I want to be traded? You want to try to work out a trade? I'm not going to say anything's impossible because the guy who just passed the ball to LeBron there, Luka Doncic, getting traded from Dallas a few months ago. That removed the idea of impossible from the NBA lexicon. But the idea that LeBron James is going to be able to pick his team this summer after 5 days ago bypassing the chance to pick his team this summer by opting into this money, I just don't see any world where the Lakers say, sure, that's something we're going to sign up to do.
And McMahon, you heard McMenamin talking about if it's Dallas, they're not interested in a trade. They're interested only in a buyout situation. So when you hear that, what goes through your head?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Mavericks and many other teams would be absolutely interested in having an all-NBA player donated to them and not have to give anything up to get his services. But for the Mavericks to trade for him, they're gutting their rotation. They don't want to do that for what would be a ring-chasing retirement tour, potentially. And LeBron wouldn't want that. He wants to go somewhere that's going to maximize his chances to win a championship, not somewhere where, okay, well, they gave up a bunch of pieces, their depth's not there. And LeBron is in a really he's obviously one of the all-time greatest players in the world. He's invited this speculation with the statement from Rich Paul, but basically he's saying, I want my $52.6 million cake, and then I want to eat it wherever I want. And like, he doesn't have the leverage in this situation. It doesn't make sense for the Lakers to cave and say, here's all the money, go play wherever you want, go play for one of our rivals. You can't always get what you want, even if you think the roster's not good enough. Listen, do you think I want to do a podcast with Bontemps all the time? No, but I'm stuck with him on the Hoop Collective.
Yeah, that's a great parallel there. Absolutely,
it's exactly the same parallel. We're making just as much money as LeBron too. And if you look at this too, think about this scenario that Dave laid out. Right? Okay, the Mavericks get LeBron James in a buyout situation. Right? Luka Doncic is on the Lakers right now. He is the future of the Lakers. Imagine if the Lakers go to Luka Doncic and say, "Hey, Luka, LeBron James, you came to play with him in LA, right? This is going to be a great partnership. We're going to let him leave." And we're going to let him go to the team that traded you away for Anthony Davis. Let him go play for that team, which would become, at that point, clearly the second best team at minimum in the Western Conference. Let them go try to win a title, and you're going to hang out here with the $52 million of LeBron James contract and some ancillary parts on a team that's going to be in the lottery. How is that a formula that's going to lead to Luka Doncic saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to agree to extend my contract with the Lakers this summer or next summer when he's an unrestricted free agent. There's just no way, to me, that is going to be a scenario that happens.
And fundamentally, McMahon, everything the Lakers do right now has to be about Luka, right? I mean, this even the LeBron situation has to be resolved to his satisfaction.
Yes, and the Lakers have to convince Luka, hey, we are a competent franchise that can build a championship caliber team around you. And I don't think a great first step in that process would be donating LeBron James to the franchise that dumped Luka, blindsided him, shanked him in the back, shamed him on the way out the door, and making Nico Harrison look like a genius. I don't think Nico and Luka are exchanging Christmas cards right now. Now, maybe the Lakers could say, hey, we'll pay for your league pass subscription so you can watch your former franchise contend for a championship with this all-time great that we donated to the cause. I don't know. I don't think that's a great idea.
You think they'd put that in the contract, the league pass subscription?
I mean, they might. I'm sure LeBron doesn't want to deal with McMahon either. So
yeah, that's probably
that's
true
the other problem.
As well. Anyway, we come back on Get Up. We're going to talk a little NFL. The Eagles are flying high, but who's ready to clip their wings? We'll give you the teams that could stop Philly from getting to another Super Bowl. Plus, it is 50 days till college football kicks off. Is there any team that can stop